Season 20 and their patch notes are here, meaning this is the holy grail of information. This is literally everything that's coming new to the season, and it's explained in detail. Finally, the numbers that we've been wanting to see on if this is going to mean 22 seconds or just some length of time for Ash's snare. Will it mean that there are actual nerfs to the weapons and to the legends that we've been feeling and thinking by looking at their perks but not getting the verification? And what the heck is spread delay? What's going on with the 30-30? What's happening with the Prowler? What's going on with the weapons on the floor? And what are the gold weapons this season alongside map changes and where we can expect to play? All of that in this video. So please enjoy, sit down, relax. Maybe you've got some time. Maybe you, like one of my Twitch viewers was, driving for 8 hours. And this is a great video to sit down and listen to because we're going to go through it all because this is Apex Season 20 in a nutshell. And then, of course, I have to go to the Austin Powers meme. No, this is Apex Season 20 in a nutshell. What am I doing in a nutshell? Okay, I'm done with that. You guys, it's been too long. All right, how are we doing? It's Monday, everybody. Let's talk about it. First off, the breakout rewards are kind of different. They're interesting for everyone. Every 2 weeks, if you haven't played Apex for a while, you're just coming back. I know many of you are here. And if you are, let me know in the comment section below. I've been hearing from a lot of you about that. A new legend is going to become free to play for the rest of the season. Each legend will have a set of challenges to permanently unlock that legend. So you can basically earn legends without having had enough of the materials to buy them if you're interested in them. And you can check out every 2 weeks whether the one that is happening is something you're interested in running. Now, here's a whole breakout rewards blog that we can go into. I'm not going to do it in this video because this is more for people who are really, really interested in this version of Apex where you want to unlock. For me, I have a lot of my legends. I have all the legends, so I'm pretty good in this. But I know a lot of you will want to. So make sure when you're hitting the patch notes, I'll have it linked in the description, you check out this breakout rewards blog so you can learn how to get these legends. It looks like the first one is going to be Seer, and then it'll be Fuse, Rampart, Mad Maggie, Loba, and Valkyrie. So if any of those legends you don't have and you're interested in, make sure to check it out. Also, I'd be remiss to say that this map rotation is pretty exciting for me. We've been playing a lot of Kings Canyon lately. Now we're back finally to Olympus, to Stormpoint, and to World's Edge for this season. So we'll get those maps. No Broken Moon, which to me hints that maybe they're doing something to it. Maybe there's an upgrade in the future for Broken Moon. I don't know. But certainly happy to have Olympus back. I know that many of you are as well. And a major thing that I mentioned briefly at the end of my other video, but now I'll mention in a bigger context on PS5, which I finally have, thank goodness, Xbox Series X or S, the video settings now have a performance mode that's available for 120 hertz. So if you have been playing with less than that, you've been playing with console, those 60 hertz options, you now have a chance with the 120 FPS performance, and it will help you to get more kills. I'm not going to lie, 120 FPS. When I first got into the FPS Hertz game, it was a big difference in terms of my play. So I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy this. There's some information there for you to find out, but ultimately, congratulations. That's a big upgrade and good stuff for Apex too. One thing I will say is you guys want to know what my announcement is. You want to know what the announcement is. I said in a tease the other day that I had an announcement that was happening, and I have to tell you that this is probably not what you expected, but I'm going to show you right now because this is also coming out in this new season, which I think is very, very exciting for everyone. So let's go ahead and hit it here.
kind of vibes to it.
This is a cool weapon skin. I hope you guys enjoyed just discovering all of the little things that went into making this weapon what it is.
You can grab my R99 skin this year. I'm really excited to be able to hold it and to see it, and I hope you are too.
And as always, never give up, never stop gaming. I'll see you all next time. Guys, I got a skin. The Rainstorm has a skin in Apex Legends. Can you believe it? Wow, I just got to take a moment and say thank you for all of you who are here, who are watching now. What a humbling experience to see this game become something that not only has changed my life, but now that I have a piece of my life in it. I think that is one of the more miraculous elements of partnership. And I've been a big guy who's around partnership in my entire life, whether it's my family or relationships or friends or work. This is my 5th year since day one in Apex, and with the ALGS since day one, essentially, of that and our preseason invitational. So I love my legacy of trying to be a part of things from the beginning and give it my all. And really caring. And so the fact that this weapon is in there, I hope you guys get it. And here's the coolest part. It's going to be on a free anniversary tracker, so you literally can get it for free. All you have to do is complete up to the anniversary tracker, and you will be able to earn this weapon. It's one of the middle weapons, I think, after like 2,000 points. But guess what, guys? It's going to be free, and then you could have it. A little piece of Rain Day in the Rainstorm in our community in Apex. Pretty exciting. That was the big announcement. Been working on that for 6 months. What an honor, and thank you again, Apex and Respawn. Thanks to all of you. And leave a like if you're here and you're watching. I mean, thank you, guys. Seriously, I wish I could like all of you. I do, but just a fantastic thing. All right, let's get down to business. Cheers. Cheers to another great 5 and whatever we create after this. But I love you guys. Thank you. So crafting. All right. So crafting, here's a new system. This is something I'm super excited to talk about because many of you have looked at it only in my video or a couple other videos. Replicators have changed. There are no crafters anymore to craft weapons. Now, you might be wondering, well, what weapons are in the crafter? Okay, keep that thought in mind. Keep thinking about that. Now, replicators include a fancy paint job. They also no longer require crafting materials, so you can get any of these things whenever you want. And they've been removed from the crafting rotation. So the crafting materials aren't even there. When you open the crafting menu, you'll see a shield battery, a med kit, ammo, and player banners. You can get any item, and that replicator will specifically exhaust for you, but your teammates will still be able to use it if they have interest in that specific replicator. So you can all grab shield batteries from the same one. You'll need to find another, though, if you want to continue that. Now, to offset this rule, the number of available replicators has been decreased. So now every game you will start with 12 at the start of the match. And obviously, as the ring changes, you may lose a few, but it'll have an additional airdrop at the start of round 4 to add some extra late game opportunities. And it's really for either healing or getting your teammates up. That's really what it is about, which I think is cool. They're also increasing a few quality of life. So they've decreased the interaction time, meaning it's faster. The inventory can now be accessed from the crafting menu, and printed items left alone will auto eject from the replicator after some time. So essentially, if you throw a shield battery in there, you don't pick it up, it's just going to be a shield battery on the floor in like 30 seconds or something. Very, very important to note, but remember what happens to the weapons that we were crafting. All right, we'll keep paying attention to that. We'll get into weapons soon. The World's Edge Ramparts Big Mod. Now, this is an area that you can land that has a rampart theme. You can use crafter materials to basically get fully kitted different types of weapons that have special effects for them based on Rampart. And that's always kind of been the gimmick of landing there. You get some access to some good kitted weapons, and it's actually a pretty cool area near one of the corners of the map. Now, with materials gone, they've been figuring out how to get more customers through her door and how to make that enticing, because no materials means you can't go and buy those new weapons or those fully kitted weapons. So they're now free. All of them. They'll take time to dispense from the vending machines, but once a player has claimed their free weapon, they can't get another one. Loba can actually steal 2 now with her black market, so there is also an increased variety of weapons to choose from, and no gold weapons. So anything up to purple, and a more variety of weapons than what they usually had. Now, I'm sure many of you are excited for this. This is a time where we can actually take a look at the details. The skirmishers, the recons, the assault legends, the control legends, the support legends, we've got it all. The specifics. How much of that arc snare is feeling like it's a long time, and how much are the exact seconds that it lasts? Because I know many of you have seen the clip. Do we have a certain health number for how much Bangalore heals? This patch notes right now is where hopefully we'll get a lot of those answers, because some things, like we mentioned, were nerfed to get to the point where the perks can bring them back to a choice. So you want that old wall time, or do you want that old wall length for Catalyst, or is it just going to be a bigger wall? We're going to find that out right here. So big part Let's get into it. Finally released all of the specific info. This season, they're introducing the Legend upgrade system for the BR. Take note, if you like to play mixtape, this will not, I don't think that this will change for mixtape. You know what? Let me just retract that statement. There's no need to get into that. This is basically a new version of Apex. There are going to be some modes where the shields are different, but we're not going to dive into that right now. We're just going to leave that down. An in-match progression system that deepens the Apex Legends experience by allowing you to tailor your legend to your style. You can get Evo points in a variety of new ways across Battle Royale to level your armor and your legend. All right, so Ash. Here's one of the good things that we were looking at. We thought that that arc snare lasts for a long time. Her greedy snare level 3 upgrade options. And again, if you want to know more in depth about these options, I suggest you watch my video ranking and explaining all the perks. I go through them in detail. It's about an hour and 15 minutes long. This is a video you should watch afterwards because it'll give you some information on, you know, oh, what's in a, you know, the context of what we've already talked about is there. So I suggest actually watching that video and then maybe taking a look at this as well. But feel free, you'll probably pick it up here. So Greedy Snare, we were wondering how long that lasts. Arc Snare remains in play for 24 seconds. That is a long, long time. That is a fantastic thing. Also, call out number of squads within 150 meters after a squad wipe. I think that is quite large. I think that's the distance of one of Wraith's ultimates. I think Wraith's ultimate is in that range. That's quite a long range. I'm actually going to write that. Wraith ultimate. 152 meters. Man, look, come on. 150. Come on now. Come on now. You know we do this. You know we do this thing. Okay, 152 meters. It's almost exactly the length of Wraith's ultimate. So that will, that's quite a distance, I would say. So she's going to get some decent information. Honestly, I think I'd probably rather have Murder Machine over 1 minute to live knowing that. Ballistic. He sees relevant ammo types and death boxes. There's nothing new really here. Smart duration is tripled. This is already shown to us. Bangalore, this is what I was hoping we would see a number. We do not see a number here for Refuge. Again, I said it was about 50, 60 health. No new information for Bangalore. Fuse, 50% less damage, no slow effects from the mother load. We know that. This is good to know. 25% less explosive damage. I think we know that. No speed burst information on Knuckle Cluster hit, but I'm assuming it's 30%. That's what it feels like. Now, Wrecking Ball catches fire and explodes in Thermite. This is great. I can't wait to talk about the Maggie changes and the Wrecking Ball changes coming up soon as well. Auto reload shotguns on Knock. We've known this one. Increased depth and width of tactical by 50%. Yep, we've seen that one. And gain a riot drill charge. Reduce active duration by 25%. So basically you get 2 riot drills. So we've seen that. So all of that seems pretty clear. We got the information for Ash there. Shield battery count shown above death boxes. Okay, interesting. So it's shown above death boxes. That's going to be interesting. And reduce tactical by 5 seconds. Reduce ultimate cooldown by 30 seconds. So we're finally getting some numbers. We were not getting numbers on these. The tac cooldowns I was saying was about 4 or 5 seconds. It was about 20-25%, give or take whatever the ability original length was. So now we're finally, for these, getting seconds and numbers on this. I know it kind of is the same. It doesn't make too much of a difference. For a lot of people, though, they think visually and they understand things through numbers and that clarity a little better. So I think this is helpful to go through in some ways. Yeah, the level 2 upgrades for Octane, again, I think stim damage is going to be the one to go for. I'm not understanding where this explosive damage is really going to help. It's so hard because if you're playing Apex, you don't want to be taking a lot of explosive damage. It's never something you really want to count on. There might be a moment you could be a little tankier, but for Octane, does he need tankiness versus his stim being better? I don't think so. Take 25% less damage. We know this already. We've already seen all of Pathfinder's. He's got some great adjustments. Down and away is going to be the overall grapple reset on knockdown. That's going to be amazing. Murder Machine, again, that's the 150 meters. So these look like they're going to be good passives for information, but it's going to be tough because you're going to have to go 5 seconds off the tactical. I don't know. I'd probably take tactical with Rev. Since that can be a game changer. The Shadow Pounce charge time reduced by 20%, so that is true. It's the 20% cooldown reduction, and also you can get it reduced on Knock, which is another way, kind of like Pathfinder had his. Valkyrie, Now, I think I know the numbers by this. So 15% higher, okay, with Skyward Dive. Now, I thought it was around between that and 25%. This is the lower end of what I anticipated it to be. I don't know what that means for Valkyrie. I think this will still give Valkyrie a chance to come back into the meta. 15% might have been enough. I think 25% would have really had people talking, but we'll have to see if 15% is enough to bring her back in. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section whether you think that's changed your mind at all. I think people will still have to try it and give it a run. Also, increased jetpack fuel by 25%. Okay, that's going to be great. Wraith, reduced tactical by 5 seconds. Now, reduced tactical windup by 20%. So, this is kind of where we were at. Now, what we want to really look at is, I did a video on this, and the tactical was about 0.13 seconds from what I saw in terms of shaving off. If that's 20%, that's saying that it takes, what, about 52 second point, half a second to get in there. Now, it feels a little bit longer, or maybe a little bit, maybe 60, a little bit more, 0.6 of a second to get in there. Now, I don't know. I don't know if this is, if I didn't get the right version of it, if it wasn't sped up enough. 20% seems like a very noticeable number. I didn't notice it very much. I'm most curious to play Wraith and Fast Phase on the day of launch. I know many of you are. 20% seems like a decent buff. But there's just not enough information and not enough play for me to tell. This is one of those things we'll have to test. If it was what you guys saw in the video, is it worth it for you? You let me know. The ultimate cooldown by 60 seconds, that's certainly worth it, though. So either way you get to level 3, you're going to have something really good for Wraith, and I think that's probably a good sign. This character's getting just straight buffs around. We don't get information on this, though. I'm a little surprised we don't get information on this, and I wonder what makes this different from the Revenant and the Ash changes. Why this passive warns when nearby squad count increases. Oh, so maybe it is 150 meters, but now it warns if a squad comes into the next 150 meters versus how many squads are there. Wow, that'll be very interesting. Okay, so this is how that works. All right, so Wraith, realistically, gonna have a few pathways. I like that. All right, Recon Legends, what do we get? Now, this is one that we were anticipating. Bloodhound has this perk that gives you ultimate charge off hitting the White Raven. We're not gonna find this. We're gonna find this out today. Does that mean that the original ult that he has now, that they have now, which gives you ultimate charge on hitting the White Raven, is removed? Or is this extra? We'll find out. But these are all the things we anticipated. These are all the things that we've seen. Reducing tactical charge, that's the same as we expected. Now, Crypto, we get some full numbers here. 10 seconds reduction on the tactical, and also a ultimate cooldown by 30 seconds. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of ultimate cooldowns for Cryptos, especially when you see them in the ALGS or high-level pro play. I feel like it's just too good. Like, the way that the Neuralink and EMP range is increased, I'm impressed. Now, didn't this say, am I tripping, or did this say 50%? I mean, am I tripping? Did I not make a video? Hold on. Did this change? Hold on, guys, because we got to get to the bottom of this. I remember this being 50%. If so, this might give me an answer to something else I had just said around Wraith. Because the answer might be, maybe it was adjusted. Hold on. Crypto. 50% passive. Look at this. So you see right here, 50% passive and ult range during the test. And now it is 25%. And it's called something else. So, okay, here's what I'm picking up from this. Here's my guess. I think Wraith was buffed after the playtest and the reception, and I think this was nerfed. I don't have anything else to say. Am I right? I mean, I don't think this is a problem. I think that's the point. Why you early test, why you get feedback and information. But Wraith didn't feel like a 20% faster. I'll tell you that. It felt very not noticeable. And this felt huge. Oh, now we got to really go through these. Well, this patch notes video just got a lot more interesting. Oh my God. Okay. I'm ready. So I was gonna say this is a no-brainer, but now we'll have to wait and see again. It was massive, 50%, and now you can see it's been reduced by half. So it was massive, guys. And I mean, I had images of it too, but I'm not gonna make this video too long, but longer than it needs to be. So deploying the drone calls out squads in the area. We saw that as well. Wow. So let's see what's up with Seer. So increase passive and tactical range to 75 meters. Okay. Faster movement using passive. Increase the throw range of ultimate by 20 meters. Okay. And this is all the same. Increase tactical scan duration by 1.5 seconds. Vantage. This changed. This changed, my friends. This changed. Vantage changed. Vantage used to be able to get 4 bullets back from an ultimate accelerant, and now she's getting 2 bullets back. Now, again, this was never something in the game. This was just what I tested, and it was 4 bullets, and I was really, really excited. Now, Vantage, unfortunately, that version of Vantage just doesn't live in the world anymore. And you know what? This is a more reasonable version. These are always things that you could tweak. Better to come out and make sure she's not unstoppable. But you know, it's a smart move. It's a good move. I mean, good job. I was excited. So yeah, plus 2 bullets. That'll be good. That'll be good. But wait a second. Maybe it already gave a bullet and a half and it's giving us plus 2. This could actually be the same. You know, now that this is written this way, I'm actually wondering that maybe it's just plus 2 bullets from what it originally gave. If that's the case, it's going to be closer to normal, and we'll be back with Advantage I was very excited about. So we'll wait and see. We got to play, obviously, on the 13th. Improve tactical double jump, refresh tactical on hits with the ultimate. Those are still the same, so very cool. Controller Legends, this is obviously pretty big. We've got increase the spike throw range by 40%. For Catalyst, increase the max number of spikes. Those are the same. Increase ultimate length by 15 meters. Increase the ultimate lifetime by 5 seconds. So these are going to be choices you have, 5 seconds or 15 meters longer. This felt about 14% longer. It is, that was pretty accurate, I would say. No, that was kind of inaccurate based on, it's actually longer. This is actually a pretty decent. What is the number? It's maybe 30%, maybe, of the original. Yeah, could even be 40. It's actually closer to maybe 40%. So I thought this was a lot less. This is actually decently more. I think this could be something that people check out. It's gonna have certain levels of context, and you'll understand why in a second. You'll understand why. Here's the caustic, increase the ultimate area effect by 50%. I told you Cryptos was insane. Candy Roo was freaking out about this one for caustic as well. And this is why it's 50%. That is really, really big. We finally get some numbers on that. The tactical throw range, 75%. Compared to Catalyst, that's long, but it's not compared because you could always throw these much longer. So it's 40% of the distance that you were already able to throw these versus 75% of the distance that was much shorter that you were able to throw these. So relatively, this is probably still getting an increase over this. Breathe it in, regenerate HP while in Nox gas. Nox vision persists for longer with residual toxins. Ramparts. Yeah, so this is all kind of what we expected for caustic. Rampart, carry extra ammo per stack, reduce ultimate cooldown by 30 seconds. We get a number on that. Reload faster with Sheila or when behind amped cover. So people were wondering, what does this mean? It means that when you are behind amped cover, you will get faster reloads, which is great, which is awesome. And then also with Sheila, you'll just get a faster reload as well. You can even improve mobile Sheila handling and spin up time by 20% if you like to play it on the move, which is pretty cool. So for Rampart Mage, you're going to just get straight up buffs. This is awesome. Good stuff for Rampart. More buffs. Maybe the most buffed legend in the history of Apex Legends. It's possible. It is possible. Her and Mirage are fighting right now. Watson. Pylon interceptions spawn arc stars at its base. Yep, enemy attacks only. So this used to be, you could do this with your teammates. So now it's only enemy attacks. I think that's good to check out. A 1.5 second cooldown between spawns. Great. So yeah, okay. So even if 3 hit you at the same time, you're only going to get 1. Arc stars must be picked up before more than 5, and there's a limit as to how many can be on the ground. I still think fresh start's going to be really, really good. Allies are revived with 50 HP. But I could see falling stars being really good end game. Like, you know, a lot of times you don't have ultimate. You don't have like arc stars or grenades or as many as you want at end game. And you're usually going to have a Watson pylon, and people are throwing that near you or around you, or just anything's getting picked up, because remember, it can pick up fused knuckle clusters, lots of different things that are going on throughout the game. And just having like 1 or 2 extra arc stars randomly there for free, I don't know, it's kind of nice. Again, you have to go pick them up. They don't show up in your inventory. But I could see this actually, I could see both of these being valuable. Power Pylon, we already know about this. Double ultimates HP and shield regen capacity, so you make it much stronger. Or you can split the circuit and place up to 2 pylons with half the regen capacity, and ultimate accelerants are used twice as fast. Which, to be fair, the fact that you could just use ultimate accelerants twice as fast is really nice. This kind of gives you a lot of flexibility. And, you know, the job is essentially not to regen your shield health and not to basically, you know, this is going to be for if you are really in a position to only have 1 spot. But I can imagine that most of pros will want to have that flexibility with split circuit, because it's just like, why not be able to place 2? They're basically doing the same thing. Yes, you're getting shield regen at half capacity, but you're really doing it so that people aren't pushing you, right? Like, you're really doing it so that people can't nade you out of a place. So as long as it does that and you have more ultimate accelerants, it's going to be dependent on you too. Like, do we have a lot of ultimate accelerants? I like the choices that we're all having to make here, especially in all areas of whether you're playing high level pro, casual, and what is more fun or reliable for you, or just, you know, just in general coming in and ranked and saying, well, how am I going to be the most effective in kind of a situation I don't know how I'm going to go in, because maybe I'm just solo queuing, and now I need the flexibility route versus the guaranteed value route. I love this. All right, so final crew for the legends here. Conduit increased the tactical range by 10 meters, so now we know the impact there. Shield battery count, so this is the same one Horizon has, above death boxes. Each ultimate's jammer's damage radius is increased by 10%. Again, very small, and gain a tactical charge, but have shield regeneration. So essentially, these are really small increases, if anything. And so Conduit is essentially, I would almost say, she could be prime for a nerf. We don't know what's happened yet with these patch notes. I do, but you guys don't. So the legends are going to have changes. The weapons are going to have changes. So pay attention to what this is. Okay, Gibraltar. Allies are revived with 50 HP, auto reload shotguns, shots. Baby Bubble, reduced tactical size and cooldown by 25%. Bubble Bunker, increased tactical lifetime by 4 seconds. I wonder, 25% isn't as small as you would think. It's noticeable visually, but it's not as small as you feel like would put you in a bad spot. So I'm actually kind of, I might, dare I say, I might be a baby bubbler. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but I just might be a baby bubbler. I don't know about you guys. All right, Lifeline. Rapid response, revive speed by 20%, reduce tack by 10. We know these numbers, self-revive and the care package. Very exciting. Loba, increased tactical heightened range, ultimate range by 25%. That feels like that was that? We didn't know the number on that, so now we know it's 25. Okay. And then the extra item and the reduced cooldown by 5 seconds. So we didn't know the number, so that's 5 seconds. And then obviously the extra item, and the range is cool to see. It's not that big, but it's going to be probably noticeable. I still think, why not take, I mean, my goodness, tactical height and range. Even if you get this extra item one, and they've actually changed these. Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Wait, the level 2 and level 3 were swapped. Level 2 and level 3 were swapped when we played, guys. So let me just show you this. Originally, it was shopping spree and market expansion, extra item and range increase, and it was also reduced tactical and increased height. What it looks like now is you can get both a reduced tactical and increased height. You used to have to choose between those. So this is a bigger buff, in my opinion, for Loba than she originally got, because you literally had to go, do I want height and range or do I want less? And now you just get a better tactical by far. By far, this is a better tactical. And you can also go the ultimate route, or you could just say, I want the height and range, and then I'm going to get the extra thing from the black markets. The only thing that's sad about the black markets is that this is something that you really do like to have more often than not. As an early, I could see why it was maybe put in as an early level 2 upgrade option, because now you can use it throughout the entire game and you kind of choose your destiny. But when you think about it, getting to level 3, only getting 25% extra range if you're going the ult route isn't quite good. If you go ult route and you get 25 extra range at level 2, and then you get an extra item, that does feel like much more of a significant upgrade. So I think just from a clarity's sake perspective, this is much better for them. Wow. Okay. I'm really glad we're paying attention here, because if not, we would have been thrown. I know you guys, and but it's not like you guys don't know this either, because everyone's done videos and content on this. So this is a change. These are cool changes though. Okay, allies are revived with health regen up to 75 HP. We're on Mirage now. More me, gain an ultimate decoy, reduce cooldown by 30 seconds. Yes, we know all these. Yeah, up to 75 HP. I'm a little... This was all very clear. Gain a decoy charge. Can have both active at once. Refresh tactical on successful bamboozles. So Mirages stays exactly the same. Newcastle, increase mobile shield speed to weapon sprint speed. Great. Wow. Okay, so that's much faster. Mobile shield segments gain 250 HP. Oh. Okay, so each segment gains 250 HP. Okay, got it. So just, okay. Allies are revived with health regen up to 75. I want to say that was 50. They didn't tell us. So here's what's interesting. They get this health regen. So this feels like what they're doing with the tactical stem of Conduit, and not straight up revive allies with 50 HP. This is what it seems like for both Mirage and for Newcastle, where Gibby seems to have a different one, that they are revived with 50 HP. So I just want you guys to know there's a distinction there. Some, like Gibby, are going to just give you straight up health back when you are revived. I think Watson has that too. These legends, Mirage and Newcastle, for whatever reason, probably because their revives are so much better, like with a shield in front of you and invisible, you have more capacity, but it's not going to happen as fast. So you're going to need to be a little bit more careful. You can get knocked a little easier. But overall, you'll get more health, especially if you like extend the fight, because I think it will ultimately regen that much. All right, well, now it's time to get into the rest of the patch notes, my friend. This is very, very exciting. We already know clubs are being retired, and it's now time to get into balance. This is what patch notes are all about. What does it mean as we head into this? Again, refresh your coffee, get whatever it is, take a sip, relax. Because this is a lot of the stuff that determines. I mean, we already know a lot that's going to determine the season, but this is where you see kind of what's going on with the weapons. What happened with the legends? What are they compensating for with the perks? What are we not compensating for? Let's go through. I'm gonna do my best. And I've actually talked to some of the developers to get very clear on what is what some of this language means so that I can explain it to you guys very clearly. So I was looking at this morning and wanted to know, exactly, okay, what is this? I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. Again, you guys are so important. So I want to do my best to try to honor that. Okay, so here we go. Balance updates, crafting. Here's the big one, guys. Ready for this? Crafting rotation is no more. All weapons, all loot back on the floor. Now, for some of you, that you're not even going to care, because crafting took flight later on in the later back half of 15, 16, 17, all the way up until now of these seasons as being a major part of Apex and what's in the crafter, what's not. That's over. I mean, we had to look at what was in the crafter for the day in the ALGS. It started becoming one of those things we talked about learning and knowing to talk about the impact of whether something's there. Why are we not seeing the purple? No longer. This changes a lot of things around the game and the pace of the game, what can happen, and players. I mean, I think this gets back to a raw feel of Apex. I'm a fan. I can't wait to see how this works out. I want to hear your thoughts on this one immediately, though, guys. If you're feeling it, let me know. Leave a comment. Leave a like if you're enjoying the video. By the way, we're getting through this thing. Crafting options reduced to shield battery. Medkit, we know that. Inventory can be accessed. Rampart's big mod, we talked about that. One free weapon per player. Replicators, we've talked about that. The care package weapon rotation, this is new. The EVA 8 enters the care package, and the Prowler returns to the floor. So that's going to be nice. The Prowler is back, baby. Let it roar. Gold weapons, R301, the RE45, which is your guys' favorite weapon at this point. I mean, I've never gotten more comments about anything than the RE45. I mean, my goodness. I didn't know y'all love the RE45 like that. Like, okay, fine. God forbid a guy likes a P2020. I mean, seriously, man, I will let you guys take that to endgame all day. My gosh. Okay, Mastiff, Devotion, 30-30. They're all gold weapons rotating this season as well. Let's talk weapons. Let's talk attachments. 30-30. Big news is it gets a nerf this season. I think a lot of you were expecting that. I think many people who watched high-level play could see it coming. This is a weapon that's been overall abused in many different ways. So excellent in so many different capacities. It had things molded into itself. It had a dual loader hop up already molded into it, so you were reloading 2 shells at a time. Things are changing though, and here's what. The base damage is being reduced to 39. It was 42. This is a big deal. It's basically quite a lot. It's taking about 36 damage out of each full magazine that you had in terms of just raw shooting, and sometimes those are the differences. Few of those bullets, those shots, they make an impact. The ammo capacity also is changing, and the base capacity is 6, but it's no longer going up by 2. It's going up by 1 until the white, the blue, and then the purple and gold is going to give you that 2 bump, but it's still going to be 2 less than the 12 originally that it had. It's going to max out at 10 shots. The Skull Piercer headshot multiplier is reduced to 2. Now, the reason this is important is because now the Skull Piercer is obviously going to be able to be on this weapon. And so you're going to have to look at hitting those headshots, hitting those double shots. What is that going to be, 78? So you guys will, be able to still do decent bit of damage. But if you think about that, that's 210 plus, so we're at 234. You can 3 headshots knock somebody down with a red Evo. And certainly, if you're just rocking a purple, you should be able to get somebody down with 3 headshots. So it'll still be lethal, but it won't be in that lethal range where you're 4 body shots, maybe 3 body shots and a headshot is going to be able to knock down a purple. You might need a couple headshots in there to really get that damage done. And so that's kind of what helps the TTK, the time to kill, for this change. The dual loader removed as an integrated hop-up now only loads 1 shell per reload. It seems like the dual loader may still be available to pick up and utilize, but it's not going to be integrated. So it's only going to give you that 1 shell. So again, this weapon has gone from having 12 shells in the time of 6 reloads to 10 shells in the time of 10 reloads with less damage. yeah, it's they're changing it. Also, the marksman stock reload bonus normalized to match other sniper weapons, so you won't even reload as fast. And reloading 3 shells in a row, though, does give you 20% of the remainder of the reload speed for the rest of the shells. What does this translate to? If you reload 3 shells and you're kind of in the process of reloading multiple shells, so you're saying, I want a full reload for my weapon, it's just going to now give you the speed. But if you want to reload one at a time and shoot, 1, 2, shoot, 1, 2, 3, shoot, then you're going to still have that reduced reload timing. So it might be better to plan out your play with the 30-30, where you're getting full reloads off and getting more of a efficiency bonus with the 20% added for the remainder, all the way up to potentially 10. So, you could get 7 reloads 20% faster. That's decent value. The EVA 8. What does this care package weapon look like? And it's interesting. The damage reduced to 6 was 7. So that's not what you would have expected. You would have expected more damage. But that still puts us at 42 damage per shot because it shoots 8 bullets. Fire rate increased to 3 was 2.4. That's a 20% increase. So 25% increase. So you're now shooting 25% faster, even though you've lost a little bit of damage, which is okay. The recoil is reduced to better match the much faster fire rate. So that's just a quality of life. Hammer points will be on it. So you'll do 20% increase against flesh plus 1 damage. So it looks like you'll get back to your 7 damage on hammer points plus 20%, but it'll be based on your 6, but you'll just get 7 damage. But the 20% will be increased off of this. So whatever you hit. That's interesting. So, I mean, what is that gonna hurt? I mean, I'm trying not to do too much like fast math, but like 12. So I mean, you're gonna be hitting for over 50 per shot. With the hammer points, which is on flesh. So that'll be good. And then the gold shotgun bolt will help you to reload on slide, increased to 2. It was 1. So that will be nice. Note this change only affects the care package EVA 8. So will be interesting. Okay. The Hemlock. Damage reduced to 20 was 21. So the Hemlock gets a slight nerf. The hip fire spread. First of all, by the way, before I jump into this, let me know what you think about the EVA 8. Are you excited about it in the care package? Meh. Use this weapon, the shotgun. I've used it a bit. Let me know how you feel about the EVA 8. Okay. Now moving on to the Hemlock. Damage reduced to 20 was 21. So we get a 1 damage nerf there per each bullet. Now hip fire spread has been increased, meaning as you're shooting, you will spread out more. The bullets will spread out more and not be as concise. So if you're looking to aim straight, they might spread out more now this way, in terms of you will now have less accuracy if you are not aiming down sights and you are trying to hip fire. Typically, that doesn't have too much of an impact on Hemlocks in the past, but they've increased the hip fire over time. And I do feel like maybe, it's still going to make this weapon. It's a balanced attempt, right? It doesn't mean, I don't know how much this is. We don't know numbers, but we'll see. Now, the spread delay increased to 0.28. Was 0.21. Okay, so I've tried to talk about this. I'm going to read you something that I was writing to JB, who's one of our designer. Basically, he says spread delay is every weapon's hip fire spread grows a variable amount with each continuous shot and burst. So, for instance, every time you shoot, your spread will grow a certain amount. So you will shoot with hip fire and it'll be this. Your bullets will go from starting pretty clear to now going potentially anywhere as you fire more rapidly. Think of shooting clearly into a circle with your first shot, but then as you shoot faster, you might shoot a little bit outside the circle. Then you shoot again, you might shoot even farther outside the circle until you give yourself time to reset. So for an interesting example, like the Prowler, which we'll talk about in a second, sometimes if you wait for the delay of the spread to go back, you can get back to that original first point. Like if you start and shoot a weapon, there is no spread, but as you shoot more, there will be. If you get to the point where you are shooting very fast and you're getting more and more shots out, you will have more and more spread. For certain weapons, though, you can only shoot so fast so that you don't end up having the spread increase because you're shooting so fast. Because the timing that you're actually shooting actually doesn't increase the spread of these bullets. So, for instance, with the Prowler, the burst delay is increased to 0.28 and the spread delay is increased to 0.28 because, as you could see here, it was 0.15 and the delay was actually faster than the burst rate of fire. So the spread was fully resetting between each burst. Now, because it's 0.28, it's going to actually grow a little bit, and that'll help with, you know, the hipfire prowler not being as accurate, not being as reliable. So that's kind of the explanation that I was given. Again, what you're basically looking at is the reset time between going back, and the hipfire of the Hemlock has a longer reset time now before getting back to its original spread. It's a little complicated for me. This is one of those things that it's kind of backwards in my mind. Like, I don't think about it this way. That's why I had to ask. But as I'm wrapping my mind more around it, I guess an easier way to explain this to all of you is that as you take time, as you take this 0.21 seconds, it'll go back to normal. If you try to shoot before the 0.21 seconds, it will increase the spread. And so that's kind of the awareness that I have. So now, if you try to do that before the 0.28 seconds, it will increase the spread. So if you're firing faster than basically a third of a second, then you're going to have your spread continually increase. And that's kind of the difference, meaning that you're going to have to slow down shooting the Hemlock if you don't want it to go wilder and wilder. That's kind of the idea about it. So I did my best with that. I know I was like kind of just learning that concept this morning, but for all the stuff we do know here, it's okay to kind of learn things. Still cool to learn things every now and then. Okay, so the L-Star can no longer equip barrel attachments. That's pretty simple. The Prowler reverted to the non-care package version, but will be on the floor. So damage decreased to 15 and it was 16. The select fire hop-up is removed. So no select fire, so we'll be at the burst. So this is kind of perfect to explain what was going on here. The burst delay is increased to 0.28 because basically it was 0.24. So you were able to fire every 0.24 seconds. The spread delay increased to 0.28, was 0.15. And so you're now going to be able to see that as you shoot the Prowler, you can shoot at 0.24 and you'll actually be able to keep your spread continually delaying if you just keep firing at the maximum fire rate. Your spread will continue to increase. Your spread will continue to get a little bit wackier as you continue to fire if you go full burst, which means nothing. It doesn't mean you can't hit your shots. It doesn't mean it's not going to be good. It just means it's less reliable unless you take that little pause and try to reset it. And your first shots after 0.28 seconds will be back to that original spread that it's used to, which is accurate, which is dangerous. So Prowler's going to be a good weapon. Maybe it won't be as dominant, but I still feel like there will be a way for people to dominate with this weapon. This weapon's always dominated. 5 burst. Yes, it goes to 15 damage, but I mean, that's just a lot. I mean, you consider it, that's 75, and you're not even hitting headshots. The Hemlock gets to 60 now, but this 75 damage and not even headshots because you got 5 bullets in this thing. I mean, it's still going to hurt. That's still going to be nasty. R99 gets a nice little upgrade. The ADS vertical and horizontal recoil. Oh, sorry, not an upgrade, excuse me. The ADS vertical and horizontal recoil is increased, meaning that not only as you hip fire, you'll have some recoil, but when you're shooting and you're aiming down sights, it will go higher, faster, and it will also go wilder to the right and the left. So another nerf to the R99, probably just because the nerf to taking the damage down in comparison to the car didn't change its efficacy and made people still play the R99. So I was still playing it. I know they nerfed it, but we got an R99 skin coming out in Apex this season, so you know we rocking the R99. They could add that vertical and horizontal recoil. They could add hexagonal recoil. We still gonna be running the R99. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Rainstorm. Come on, that's what we need. That's what we need. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want to us. They can't break us down. They can't break us down. All right, the R301 hip fire spread reduced. So this will actually be more accurate. So instead of spreading farther out in terms of the bullets, it will spread less. So this will be more accurate. And hipfire is a place that it does lose a lot of fights. So that'll be nice. SMG ballistics. So this is the bullets that are in things like the car, the Volt, and the R99. The projectile gravity is increased. So these bullets will drop as they travel farther, like they have more gravity on them. And projectile launch speed reduced, meaning that not only will they drop harder, they will not go as far. So these bullets will not be able to take the place. This is not actually for the Prowler, however. But this will not be able to take the place of ARs. And Apex has done a pretty good job of trying to make sure that Flatline, R301, even Spitfires or L-Stars, or let's just keep it in ARs when you look at Havocs, Flatline, R301, these weapons should have more range. They should be effective at a different range than the R99s, the cars, and the Volts. And if the Volt and the R99 in the car is as effective at medium range as the R301 and the Flatline, well, then what are you doing? I mean, there's no point then. You're not making a realistic trade-off or sacrifice, and that's what they're trying to make. So, yes, they've reduced the ability for these SMGs now to have, again, a more of a threat at those medium ranges and a little bit harder for those bullets to travel as far. We'll see how it plays, though, but yeah, that's the intent. Digital threat can no longer be equipped to SMGs, so another slight nerf to SMGs, albeit it's a bit of a sideways one, but it means that no more of these R99s are going to be able to handle, again, in the Bangalore smoke. Meaning if Bangalore stays meta, if you're in these positions where you need that digi threat, it's not going to work. So this not only simultaneously makes this more important, it also makes information more important and scan legends slightly more important here if Bangalore stays relevant. And so we may see a shift in the meta with a couple of these changes. We really may, because how else are you going to guarantee being able to fight somebody in smoke? You literally can't unless you have a PK. But most people are running shotguns sparingly. Like, I wouldn't say that shotguns are actually the most run thing. I'd say SMGs are for sure the most run thing in in-game. So now you're going to have to either pick up a shotgun or you're going to have a Bloodhound that you're confident playing with an SMG player, if that's going to be the case. Plus, those are getting nerfed. The spawn rates of Digi-Threats are also getting nerfed by 20%, so they're less valuable. So this is a very interesting thing. I'm not sure how this is going to play. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though. The spread multipliers also are reduced to the, So basically, the spread multipliers are reduced. So the white laser sight adjusted to a 0.9. It was 0.8. The blue laser sight adjusted to 0.8. It was 0.6. Purple laser sight adjusted to 0.7. It was 0.4. These are only like 1 ticks down and 2 ticks down as well. Again, this seems to be for SMGs just a very big adjustment season. So I'm very hopeful that they'll still stay relevant, but I think that we will see people experiment this season more so than they have in the last few seasons, and I think that's saying something. Okay, now going on to the legends. Here it is, the heavy rig legends. This is going to be a very interesting quality of life thing. And again, we're going to talk about what happens with Catalyst, what happens with Conduit. Have these legends received nerfs? We know Crypto's width of his EMP has been changed and his ultimate. What does that mean? Did he get some changes at his base kit? All of that information we're going to find out too. And this will tell us a lot on how they're thinking of using perks in the future, because I think it's going to come in tandem with a few of these bigger overall changes to legends that the perks can now help offset or make you make more meaningful choices in Apex. How you guys doing? You all right? This is I didn't know how long this video was going to be, but it's already a long one. I feel like I've just been loving doing long videos lately with you guys. It's just been entertaining. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed spending the time with you. I hope you've enjoyed it too. And like I said, hopefully this is a podcast, this is a workout. And if you are, hope you're driving far. Hope you're getting it. Getting your calories. At least 300 calories had to have been burned during this while I'm sitting down doing nothing. All right, heavy rig legends. They now use medium first rig person animations, meaning they're going to look like Bangalore running or Octane running. Maybe a bad example because he just looks like he runs really, really fast. But another legend of that size, maybe Valkyrie? I don't know. Valkyrie might be medium. She might be small, though. Mirage. Okay. And so Gibraltar, Caustic, Pathfinder, Newcastle, Revenant, they will use those animations. The speed has not changed, but these legends will feel less sluggish while running. So a lot of it, this is one of the earlier things that we said when it came to Gibraltar and when it came to actually looking at these legends in the previous state of Apex when they first came out. Excuse me. It was so clear that Gibraltar looked slower to everyone else. And it was simply because of the way his animations were. He traveled the exact same speed, distance, pace, but he just looks slower. This looks like this is a big change happening. So if you want to play these legends, you will not feel it like you're moving slower, even though you never were. You just won't feel it. Support legends. Extended bins now have improved contents, and I know what this is already. They're going to show it to you below, but what it really is that you're now going to be able to have more. Well, I'll just show you when it gets down here. Okay, ballistic. Sling weapons now have all white attachments while equipped, which is nice, meaning you could basically have a sling weapon and just get basic attachments for that, which is solid. Sometimes that's better than what you find for your other legends, you know? I mean, a fully kitted 4-slot stock barrel, sight, and a magazine, I mean, that's pretty solid. So there's a buff here to ballistic. Tempest also has a radius increase. Oh my god. 90 meters? It was 13? Wow. That is one of the biggest jumps in overall radius increase I've ever seen for a legend. So ballistic, absolutely getting buffs. As we expected, but that's pretty awesome. That's good. That's pretty good. We'll see how that works. Plus, I think it does make sense. If you're ballistic, sometimes you don't want to play. I mean, you don't have to be the like this gives you flexibility. Like you want that to just help your team. You don't want to have to be near everybody. Okay, you still have to be relatively close, but not that close, which is great. Okay, Bloodhound. Raven scan. When you could hear if you could at least hear the fight, you should be able to be cool here within 90 meters. As long as you're not on the other side of the map, this should be okay. Bloodhound. Tracker, Raven scans ult charge is now gated behind the Hunting Ravens upgrade. We were assuming this. It is confirmed. No longer do you get ult charge from the Ravens. You have to opt into that now. So Bloodhound actually gets a bit of a nerf in that regard. You could still get it back, but no longer part of their base kit. Catalyst, Dark Veil. Now decreased to 15 seconds, was 25 seconds. So here's the deal. Catalyst gets a nerf across the board. You can get the length to 55 by adding in the 15 extra meters, which when you look at it is about 30%. Sorry, it's closer to 40% of its current distance, which is 40 meters. Okay. And so it's wild, but it used to be 55. It will get it right back to where it was. So having a longer wall is going to get you the base wall of Catalyst. Now, having the lifetime decreased, if you increase that lifetime by 5 seconds, you're still losing 5 seconds on what it was. So either way, if you pick this, Catalyst wall is 15 meters shorter and 5 seconds shorter in time. Or if you pick this, it's the same size, but it's 10 seconds shorter. Nearly 50. I mean, it's in the 40% range of shorter. It's nuts. So, no. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much of a change this is going to... It's going to feel... You're going to feel Catalyst shifting. So, Dark Veil, get used to it, guys. I still don't know whether this means Catalyst is out of the meta, but I do think that people are going to start experimenting now. People are going to start looking. And, 15 seconds, it is a long time. It's enough to do something, but the game either way is getting faster in this regard. And even if you want to try to get that time back, it's not. And we're going to have to see if this length is actually meaningfully shorter. Okay, Conduit. Radiant Flash. Cooldown increased to 26 seconds. It was 21 seconds. So you're adding another 25% onto that, which is a lot in terms of the cooldown. Temporary shield regeneration decreased to 15 HP, so you're losing 15 HP a second, and now it was 20 HP a second. You're also losing the time, so it's now no longer 9 seconds, it's 8 seconds. So basically what this is going to translate to is you're going to get shields less often. You're going to get shields. You're going to get less shields. You're going to get them less often, and they're going to last. They won't last as long. So that's basically what's going on with Conduit. A big nerf across the board for Radiant Flash. And then Energy Barricade. Did they change the name? I swear Radiant Transfer was the name of Conduit's ability. Was it not? It definitely is called Radiant Transfer. I think this could have been a mistake in the patch notes. Unless they changed the name, which it doesn't feel like they would do that. Energy Barricade, but I'm not sure. So we'll see what it's called. Energy Barricade, mine duration reduced to 45 seconds. Mine HP reduced to 200. I think these are strong choices. This is a very strong ultimate. The distance at which mines are removed when deployed too close to one another has been increased by 100%. So basically, you're going to have to keep them spread out, and that's doubling the distance at which, if something's too close, you would just remove some of the mines. I don't know how this is going to play, but I have a feeling that this means that you're just going to have a lot more clarity, and conduits won't be able to have too many mines in too weird of a like close-knit spot. Like they'll have to be a little bit more spread out so that you can have clarity of like breaking through one, getting around it. Not, it'll still be a barrier, but it seems like it'll be easier to deal with. So conduit gets all across the board nerfs that, yeah, I mean, this is questionable. I wonder about conduit because conduit's good. But Conduit's good because of what she does. Now, if what she does becomes irrelevant, I feel like we have a Fuse conversation where Fuse is good because his Knuckle Cluster does damage, his ultimate does damage, but if it stops doing enough damage, is it worth it? And I wonder if the same conversation can be had for healing, for shielding. Like, yes, it's good to get shields, but if you're all about giving shields, but it's not really worth it, I think the saving grace is that her ultimate is still very good, and she's a small hitbox character, and she definitely still supports people. And so I think it's good, but I'm curious if this is actually going to put people off Conduit. I mean, from a high level perspective, I'm very, very curious. I think it's not impossible. Crypto, speed of drone recall slightly increased. Transitions going in and out of drone are now faster. So now what we get to see are just overall buffs for crypto. They didn't do the big buff that I was hoping for with the 50% EMP, but it's still going to be bigger crypto, just straight across the board. If you're a crypto player, you get some buffs there. Horizon gravity lift cooldown increased to 25 seconds, was 20. So again, we were wondering, does Horizon get a fake buff? Yes, she does. So she basically can now, like Catalyst, go back to her original number of her cooldown, which is 20 seconds. So you're going to have to pay the piper if you want to get back to that same Horizon status. Again, bit of an adjustment. Overall base nerf to Horizon, because again, even if that's the case, is that at number 1 or number 2? See, that's actually a good question. Is this at number 1? This could be a 3rd level upgrade. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. And it's not worth looking at my other video right now because it's up in here. Let's look. Wait, Horizon. It's the 3rd level. So you're going to have a base nerf on Horizon until you get to level 3, no matter what. Wow. Okay. You won't even be able to think about doing anything with this to get back to normal until level 3. Wow. Okay, Lifeline. In modes with cores enabled, Lifeline's care package. So in the BR modes where you have the new cores instead of the shields, the care package now has 50-50 chance to drop an extra piece of smart equipment versus larger consumable instead of an armor. Okay. I believe this is going to be, I think they give us information on the smart equipment here. Mad Maggie also will no longer be destroyed. The Wrecking Ball no longer destroyed on first enemy hit. This is a big deal for her explosion, which means the Wrecking Ball will trigger an explosion, then keep going, allowing for a second explosion to trigger later. I mentioned this in my video about it. It's really awesome. It's like a big burst of flame and then a second explosion where it's a big burst of flame and a thermite. It's really sick. I mean, Mad Maggie's going to be really fun. I think this will be one of the characters I definitely try to play and see how the potential is. Not necessarily because it'll be meta, but because it's just fun. Like double riot drills, bigger riot drills, fire, flame, explosions, movement. She's going to be fun. Same player cannot be hit again by the ball for 2 seconds after first impact, and players can only be affected by the shell shock and knockback effects once, and it will now bounce through devices it hits and destroys. Some changes to Octane's double jump so that it's less audible from long distances. And Pathfinder, the inside knowledge will no longer give you a 100% ult charge. It will give you a 50% ult charge and a 15-second ult cooldown. It was a 10-second ult cooldown. This also applies to ring console or survey beacon scans, considering now that one of the passives is you'll be able to choose, do you want ring console or survey beacons as Pathfinder. There are some map updates. The World's Edge new exhibit that honors the history of the Outlands in the museum should be there. And a lot of information tidbits, so that'll be fun if you're not dying instantly when you land, which I think most of us will be. But hey, if I'm not, I will be checking out that museum as closely as I can when I'm not fighting for my life. The special celebration of dressing in the form of flags, banners, and even the return of our larger-than-life legend balloons can be found on every map. This year features an all-new cast designed with a breakout aesthetic in mind. Also, tridents, jump balloons, gravity cannons, loop ends, and more have a fresh look. So a lot of things getting an overhaul, a change for season 20. Thunderdome, I mentioned this. This is a new map, but the cool thing about it is it's a custom mixtape map, meaning it's designed for gun run, control, and deathmatch. So this will be really fun. I'm excited to try this out. I played some mixtape the other day on stream, twitch.tv/rainday. If you're here, you probably already know by now, but you know, come join me. I'll probably be streaming today. And then mixtape. Updated loadouts to reflect weapon meta changes. The gun run removed charge rifle, added the Kraber, which is quite nice. I think that's going to be making gun run more fun, honestly. And then new LTM straight shot, which I think you all will really like. I'm not going to lie. This also has a blog with it as well that you'll be able to see. Right there, you see that? That is the 5th anniversary tracker for free. Community created. That's our Rainstorm Lightning R99, baby. Look at it right here. The Lightning Aura R99 skin, inspired by Rain Day. Artist Claire PNG art. A big congratulations. I cannot wait to see that thing in game, and a lot of cool like upgrades and things like that you'll be able to check out as well. But just to finish off these patch notes, because there are still a couple of things about it which you're like, I can't believe it. This is insane. You are actually going to have a chance to read all of Ranked. We've already gone over this, but Ranked gets a brand new reset. Please check out my other videos explaining the updates. This was featured in a blog on the updates, and there was actually more of an in-depth blog about the Evos, the Ranked, and all these things, matchmaking, how that's going to look here as well, that we've gone over in a video. World Systems, the extended supply bins now give smart gear. This is one of the other just changes that happened, and we're basically there into bugs and audio. So extended supply bins now give smart gear. Players can find gear upgrades for knockdown shields, helmets, and backpacks in the hidden shelf. So for those types of gear outside of the ammo adjustments and weapons and overall med kits and syringes and things like that, there's a small chance for granting purple gear if a player or on the squad has white gear or none at all, and there's a small chance of gold gear if you all have purples. It more reliably gives you heat shields and mobile respawn beacons, and the increased likelihood of medkits over syringes. And so this is for the extended supply bins. Okay, so you'll be able to get these if you're playing some of those characters like the skirmishers or the supports that or the assault and the supports that get the extended supply bins. So that'll be another value element that they bring to the table. I really like the extended supply bins. I'm not gonna lie, I like them quite a lot. So here's the bug fixes. Double clicking in the melee tab now equips items Okay, firing range dummies no longer clip through damaged doors. Heat shields and legend ult items can no longer be placed on tridents. Ooh, oh, okay, that's a big deal actually. In-match challenge display now lists all 5 challenges. Player-created pings can once again be removed. Players will no longer teleport into the building overlooking the Fight Night Ring via Trident. Valkyrie can no longer get under the turbine on Olympus. You crazy Valkyries, what were you trying to do? Voice line, while picking up enemy banner cards, no longer indicates it is a squad mate, which was throwing some of you because I have a feeling you guys are like, whoa, what's going on here? That's not my homie. That's not my homie. Audio, most in-game dialogue now synchronized between clients. Squad members can now be muted while spectating. Graphics, DX12 fixed several causes of the crashes. And for the Legends, this is always kind of fun. Ashe, ult, Rampart, tack, ult, Watson, tack, ult, and Loba ult can no longer be placed out of bounds. Okay, I'm not sure who's doing, what are you guys doing? Are you placing ultimates out of bounds? What are you doing that for? Okay, Conduit's tack now appears for observers, okay, which means that's helpful for us, the ALGS. Mad Maggie's ult now destroys Gibby's tactical. Okay, so that shield obviously is going down. That I feel like that had to have already been intended, but yeah, that's going down. Mirage decoys that are destroyed by catalyst piercing spikes no longer keep the trap active, nor make hit sounds briefly after dying. All right. Quality of life, some changes here. The fire range, they've got some new Nessies. Gun run, they changed the victory animation. Pure optic ADS sensitivity, so you can add some optic sensitivity for Seer when he's using his Heartseeker. Performance mode has been tuned to feel similar to 60 hertz. Advanced haptics and adaptive trigger support for PlayStation and PC consoles, which is nice. Navigation, every event tab, dedicated tab. Appears when there is an active event. Death menu added a squad. Legends tab. Selected legend will not reset. It's a featured one when your cursor is not over a legend. Melee tab. Death box icons now clickable. And the store tab, new sub tab containing offers that were previously featured, special, seasonal, and more with improved navigational flow and representation. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the store was a little hard to navigate. I was like, where is the thing that I'm trying to get? I kind of see this. This is good. I like it. UI has been killing it. Good stuff, guys. This is a big UI season, UX season. So congratulations on all that you've done. This is obviously a huge undertaking. Great work. And graphics, for those who care about it, general GPU rendering optimizations for effects, improve low-res effects rendering quality, which is amazing. If you don't have the highest PC, you don't need it. The highest quality system, that's okay. They're making your life better. Improve volumetric lighting, optimize effects after stepping through a catalyst wall for better GPU performance, which every player in the history of the world has somehow stepped in at one point, which is great to know. Optimize effects when taking damage from Fuse's ultimate. That may happen a little bit more this season, and it's good that we can now no longer blame our computer bugging or something like that. PS5 and Xbox X and S improve CPU graphics performance with parallelization of rendering workloads, and a new live API update and upcoming changes, meaning that there are going to be some changes for websites and things like that to track data. Sometimes it's player rate, sometimes it's pick rate, sometimes it's different things and kills and wins. So that is all going to be changing. So they recommend that if you do have a website like that, I use some of those websites as well for like looking at like certain pick rates for legends. By Q3 of 2024, make sure it is removed and turned off and start working into the WebSockets connection interface. Let me know what you think about the patch notes. Leave a like on this video. Thank you for sitting with me. And remember, never give up, never stop gaming. I will see you tomorrow for the Season 20 launch.